As part of the preliminary cockpit preparation, you have to check that the full-face oxygen masks are stowed in their respective boxes and the portable oxygen equipment is in its place. During the external inspection, only 2 items related to the oxygen system have to be checked. The oxygen bay should be closed. The green oxygen discharge overpressure disc should be present. A missing disc indicates an overpressure of the crew oxygen system. The aircraft has just been powered. The oxy indication is amber, indicating that the crew supply push-button switch on the oxygen panel is in the off position. Select crew supply to on. Observe that the oxy indication has turned green, indicating that the oxygen is available. Also check that the high pressure indication, pressure in the bottle before it is regulated, is also displayed in green. An amber half frame can appear below the pressure value, meaning that the oxygen pressure is below 1500 psi. In this case, you should look at your MIN Flight Crew Oxy chart to check if the oxygen quantity is sufficient for the flight. If the amber Regule Low Pressure message is displayed, the oxygen pressure from the regulator is low and you must call maintenance. In order to test an oxygen mask, including its mic, check that the loudspeaker controls located on the glare shield are set to an appropriate level, and the INT reception knob on the audio control panel is selected and adjusted, and the INT radio switch is set to the INT position. You can test a cockpit oxygen mask without removing it from its storage box. Test the flow of oxygen by pressing the Test and Reset control. No, press the Test and Reset control. Notice that the blinker flow meter turns yellow for a short time and then goes black, meaning that the oxygen is flowing. Next, in order to test the emergency oxygen pressure, you must press and hold the Test and Reset control and the emergency pressure selector simultaneously. Press and hold the Test and Reset control in the down position. And press the emergency pressure selector. The yellow flow indicator shows us that oxygen is flowing continuously and remains on as long as the emergency pressure selector is pressed. You can hear the oxygen flow through the loudspeakers. The final check of the mask is to verify that the supply selector is in the 100% oxygen position. To do this, make sure the selector is in the down position. Suppose you are now in flight and a cabin depressurization occurs. In order to retrieve your oxygen mask from its container, you must squeeze the red grips. Click on either of the red grips to remove the mask. To put the mask on, maintain the red grips squeezed, fit the mask over your face, and release the red grips to secure the fit. The harness deflates, fitting the mask tightly. Click on the video window to look at the oxygen mask utilization.
To use the mask, squeeze the red clips, which will inflate the mask harness. Releasing the red clips will stop oxygen flow to the harness and vent the oxygen remaining in the harness to the atmosphere. To take the mask off, the harness has to be inflated. This is done by operating the red clips.
Let's assume you have used the mask and restored it. You observe a white Oxy On flag. Press the Test and Reset control. Notice that the Oxy On flag has disappeared, the oxygen microphone is de-energized, and the oxygen flow is stopped, indicating that the mask is now reset. Let's now go to the cabin. When the mask manual on guarded push button located on the oxygen panel is in the auto position, the passenger oxygen masks automatically deploy if the cabin altitude exceeds 14,000 feet. Note, the mask manual on push button can also be used to deploy the passenger oxygen masks manually. The passenger system on light illuminates white on the oxygen panel, indicating that the masks are deployed. Oxygen generation starts when the mask is pulled down towards the passenger seat. There are approximately 13 minutes of oxygen available.